have to eat like slaves anymore because we're not slaves. If you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel. Eat your largest meals in the middle of the day, not the end of the day.
What part the homeostasis plays, you're on your way to healing yourself. The homeostasis is the internal environment where your body is at its ultimate functionality for healing. Just keep in mind that everything that is happening to you is happening for you.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday to everyone. You are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist, and today's topic is things to consider for a healthy 2025. Thank you all so much for joining us. I know I'm ready for a healthier 2025. So if you are, let me see it in the comments. Say, yes, I'm ready for a healthier 2025. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get the conversation going. This is going to be wonderful. Hello.
I see you ready. Good. That was you just spam. All right. All right.
Ready.
Don't do. Okay.
This year's going by fast. We got to move fast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see who's talking to us this morning so that we can talk back and say hello to Mr. Allison Gento. Yes. And we're so happy that you're here. Shirley Gentle Smart is in the house. Yes. Always wonderful to see you. Can't do it without you. And we got Yolanda Rogers, also known as Big Mama, in the house from Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you so much for being here. I am so happy to see that people are ready for a healthier 2025. Let's do it the right way. So what we're going to talk about, some of the things that we're going to talk about today is how you can start like today, not work yourself up to it, but I mean, you can start as of today. Give yourself a little time to get used to something that you're uncomfortable with. So before I go into that, you have any questions, or let's see, I'm going to give you a question. Kara, what is it that you think? What is it that you think that you need to do in order to make this year an outstanding year, or the next year an outstanding, healthy year?
Yes, I would say definitely focus on mindset a lot more. I think that is where it starts, as far as your mind and knowing what you want. Because I think sometimes we go into things not really knowing why we're doing things. We just do it just because it maybe someone's saying that it's the thing to do, you know? And I think that if you don't go in knowing what you want to do or knowing why you want to do it, that's a easier and quicker way for you to fall off from whatever that thing is that you're doing. So for me, I definitely need to be more consistent with working out.
Excellent.
Moving.
Let's go ahead and start with working out. One of the things that if you're in here, those of you that are listening again, good morning, grand rising to you. Over here, I wanted to say hello to also Shirley Love too, and Shirley Love too. Yes, good. I see you locked in with yes, you're ready for a healthier 2025. So what we want to do, we don't want to entertain you this morning, but let us educate you this morning with some things that you can start doing now. Now, much of this last year and the year before that and the years before that, we've mostly heard entertainment nutrition, and that's the stuff that, what's the latest, the Mediterranean diets, the keto diets, all these different, and that's always been, if you think back for the all of your life when you came to health, these are the same things that they've been doing over and over and over. Who are they? The media. And the media does this to get paid and to be effective. They want to get out there. It's a money game and it's a well-oiled wheel. But we want you to really put yourself first this year. Put yourself first. It's not about being conceited. It's about being convinced that you are worthy of being a healthier person. Why? Because when you're healthy, then you don't have to be at the mercy of doctors and hospitals and pharmacies and clinics and urgent care centers. You can do things for yourself. And by the way, talking about things, doing things for yourself. Now, there may be some things that are going to change looking forward. We might have, a different president in place, other people calling the shots, and some interrupting your flow of great health and the way that you buy and what you can buy. All of that is really important that you take control of your life. And what we're going to give you today are some of those jewels that can be very, very helpful. Exercise is one. That's what Kara just said. Kara, are you exercising at all?
I am actually. I am. I think I started being more consistent. I think it was more like in October. That's when I started being more consistent. And I think it's good because it gets me already going for the new year, So
yeah. How
that's
can
when
you tell?
I'm sorry.
How can you tell the sisters that's listening to us now? How do you start from 0 to 60?
I mean, just by starting. I know it sounds so like, oh, come on, give me something more, but that really is what it is, to get your mind set to say, okay, it's like I said before, what do you want? What would you like? And it doesn't have to be something grandiose, right? It can be something as simple as, what, those jeans that I like, I really want to fit in those jeans. Or I don't want to be out of breath when I'm going up the stairs. It can be, things like as simple as that, that makes you say, I'm gonna make that change. Because for me, I don't like to get on the scale. I don't know, it's just something about getting on the scale, but it's the way I feel and the way my clothes fit that lets me know I'm moving in the right direction, when I'm like working out and doing things. So the scale is not for me, but it's definitely something that, that's how I get started. That's how I get started.
Well, the way that you feel obviously is the big is the top priority.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The way you feel and the way you look, you have to put that out there too. Because the way those kind of go together. I think anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, because some people say, I don't care how I look at it. No, yes you do. It's like somebody's saying that they don't care about how they look. I'm not believing that. Let's go on to these some things that I'm gonna bring something up here on stage with us in here. And the very first thing, everybody, is that you got to make a plan. We're getting right into it. We're making a plan versus hope. You can't sit around and hope you get better. You can't sit around. I sure wish one day I could. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Is that true or not?
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Work. What is it? Work without. Now I'm messing up. Work.
Oh, you talking about the passage in the Bible, or
yes.
Right? It's just
faith without works is dead. There you go.
Faith without, right. So, and it means the same thing here. It's like, planning with hope without planning, it's like there is no hope, is not a strategy. And that's the thing that we live on. American, we love the hope. Everybody was hoping that you hope that somebody wins, or you hope that, and you don't do anything to help that come to pass. Then it's just, what are we talking about? It's just really playing with yourself, not taking yourself seriously. So there's hope is not a plan. So when you try, when you say you try, you're wasting time. If you're talking about, yes, I will do it, I am starting, I am doing it, that is what we're talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, regular exercise. So right on the nose, Carrie, you were talking about exercising. So what is take us from the bed. You're in the bed now. The bed is nice and warm, and
It is.
it might be chilly on the outside. And how do you get from the thought of I'm awake, I could exercise, and what's the next step?
The next step is it's almost like the reverse engineering, seeing yourself where you want to be, and then reverse engineering. You're in that bed, and now you're getting up and walking, and doing the things that you need to do to get going, get in the car, driving to the gym, or it may even be you in the bed, getting up. That machine is right there that you never use. You're going to that machine, but you're in your mind, you reverse engineer where you want to be, look at and think of where you want to be, and then that's how you can get to where you need to be in action.
That's
That's
good.
that's what I do.
Absolutely. So, and then let's take you to another, just a little higher. What do you do after you finish? What do you think after you? Is it anything important about after you finish your exercise routine, the way that you think? I'm just saying that because some people exercise, say, I got that done. That's out the way. Now I'm going to get me something to eat.
Right.
Or they go right back in that circle. You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's to me, it's almost like after you wash your car, you kind of don't want to drive through the dirt, or you don't want to, like, oh my God, I hope it doesn't rain or anything like that, because you just worked on this car. You got the tires all nice and shiny and everything else. So to me, it's like that. It's like if I worked out, I don't want to do anything to reverse what I just did. So you just kind of think of it in that way.
Beautiful. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We're talking about exercise, and exercising is definitely something that we've heard over and over and over, and we're still not doing it enough. And exercise is such a huge, huge gift to be able to move. When you can't move, life is movement. And when you're not moving, then you're not really moving or living your optimal life. I don't care even if you're in a wheelchair, if you're on a cane, if you're on a roller, something, whatever. If you have some impediments, you have your arm, whatever you may have been leaning on, lean on the belief and the wherewithal, the energy, the focus, and the worthiness that you can be a healthier person. You see, when you're not doing things to get healthier, to maintain your health, all you're doing actually is buying into the thought and the belief that you have to suffer. And you have so many people that are suffering, not because somebody is forcing them and oppressing them. It's because of their own thinking. And this is important. I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but this is very important when it comes to taking care of yourself. Let's go on to the next thing, healthy eating. Kara, talk to us about healthy eating.
Healthy eating, especially around this time of year, can be a definite challenge because I think even if you were eating healthy in the beginning of the year, right now is when people can be a bit lenient just because, it's the holidays, you're getting with family and things like that. So, but I will say that even with this time of year, if it's something that you've been doing the starting of the year, it makes it easier for you to eat healthier during this time of year. So definitely have to do it. Incorporate more vegetables, more fruits. Snacking can be that can be something that you can still hold on to, of course, but I like to snack on things like dried fruits, nuts, things like that. Drinking more water is definitely something that I've incorporated as well. So yes, those are things that I would say goes with healthy eating.
Let's look over here to our comments here.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you go ahead and take care of that?
Let's see here. Dr. Stephen says, looking forward uh, doing better and being better and more persistent in 2025.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. You got Yolanda absolutely got to put the work in. Period. Oh yeah, you got to put the work in. You have to do it. There's no other way around it. And Yolanda says I'm having a hard time keeping a regular routine, but keep pushing. Thanks, Dr. Zari, for keeping us on track. Oh yes, for sure.
Thank you.
You
You more than welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Yolanda, my grandmother Lenny saying, uh, was if you don't move it, you lose it. Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Healthy nutrition should be number one. Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. So, these are some of the things that, like, even like Dr. Cher Stevens, she had a real, good point about looking forward. It's your vision, it's what you see, what you have in your mind, what you are visualizing. That's one of the things that even comes before you take any action, because you're moving on what you're thinking. If you're not moving on what you're thinking, that means you're just reacting, and reacting doesn't require thought. So people are just out there moving. I don't know what you gonna eat this evening. You something, man. I'm hungry. You see, that's not a plan, Or if a person asks you what you could do, what you doing with your life, what is it that you do? What's your, what do you do? What's your calling? Or what's your career? And you're saying, I'm still figuring it out. That might be fair. But when you say, I don't know, man, shoot, I wish I was, if I was you, I have more than whatever, that same old saying over and over. So like in 2025, this is what I'm looking forward to getting over. And you notice I'm doing something about it. I know that that there are things that aren't exactly the way that I want those things, but I continue to put these things in motion so that little by little I can bring these things to pass. So
Right.
let's go ahead and Kara, did you want to add anything to that?
No, no.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this. There we go. So we want to healthy eating. Super, super important. We know now that saturated fats, saturated fats are fats that can definitely put our lives in danger. Our circulatory system, it can clog up the our veins, our arteries, capillaries, our everything, arterials. We can definitely make sure that we don't have to eat like that by making a better choice. And that's just as easy as that. Now I understand culture. I'm just as black as you are, but when it comes to eating, we don't have to eat like slaves. We don't have to just throw eat like tomorrow isn't coming. That's the people that pile on stuff and overdo it, and it's gluttonous, and it ends up being an illness if we don't put that in check. Getting enough sleep is next. You got to get some sleep, and this is one of the things that sometimes if I'm looking at something that is on TV, or if I'm on the computer, remember, give yourself not just the alarm to wake you up, but the alarm for you to also go to sleep. It's time to go to set the alarm twice. One is to get in that bed, and then you're going to come get out of the bed also. Remember, we sleep almost a quarter, 1/4 of our life is sleeping. So, whether you look at it at 1/3 or 1/4, that sleeping is a huge part of your life. Let's go to our next thing that's real super important. Be mindful when you drink caffeine. This is a part of the let me go back one here. This is a part of getting enough sleep. So in getting enough sleep, You have to be, part of that is being mindful of what and when you're drinking coffee, because when you drink coffee late, the caffeine can be in your body for 9 hours. So if you're drinking caffeine drinks, they can be in your body for 9 hours, and that can really affect your ability if you drink caffeine between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Now, a lot of this has to fit in the circadian rhythm, because some people are asleep at between 2 and 4. But the message here is you don't want to drink caffeine, especially when it's close to you going to bed. Okay, when it's getting close for you to retire for the day. Pay attention to your intake of foods and beverages with caffeine, like dark chocolate, green tea, and coffee. These are very, very important. There is a tea, it's called Rooibos tea. It's from South America, Rooibos, and it's spelled Roobois. So it's going to look like Rooibos. So, but it's actually Rooibos tea, and it's founded in, it is indigenous of South Africa. Relocate task. Now, if you think about the best ways to get things done so that you're not cramming them into 2 hours before you fall asleep. So what I mean by this is that, it's important that you space your work out. A lot of times you're not going to get your best quality if you just throwing something together. If you're doing, like, maybe if you're writing a particular, you're a writer, for instance, stories, reports, any kind of administrative things. Remember, all of those things, you want to do those early on, because usually when you are sleepy or you're in alpha state, that is when you do not do your best work. That's the time for sleeping. Use alarms for going to bed. We just went over that, making sure that you're using alarms as reminders. And if you have those things like Alexa, or if you have Google, or you have what's the other one? It's another one.
I mean, there's Siri on the phone as well.
Yeah, Siri. So, all of those, use those as your miniature robots. As a matter of fact, they're called bots. And these are your miniature robots that you can get to assist you in reminding you to eat, and reminding you to go to bed, reminding you of getting up, and giving you other things that you can be very, it can be very helpful.
Right.
Now,
It can help you with your routine, help you to stay on track. Those
yeah,
are yeah. You don't think
and
about that because it's right there, but even your phone, you can set alarms on your phone to remind you to do certain things, and reminders.
exactly. So some of the things that we've been talking about this year is eating more fruit. So that's one of the things that you can add more fruit. You can use the frozen cauliflower or the broccoli. There's a broccoli rice instead of ice. And then you have canned beets. And that just adds some technicolor hue and sweet, sumptuous flavor. And then you have, roast or steam your vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes. And, one of the things I like to add to fruit is eat something that you haven't eaten before. Don't go your whole life eating the same thing over and over. That's why we have all of these different cuisines. We have people that African, Chinese, Okinawan, African, Norway, Russian. Everybody got these different dishes and ways that they eat, and it's good. Travel. That's another thing that you can do. Add to your life more travel. See more things. Go more places.
Yeah.
Add more color to your shopping cart. While you're shopping, don't wait until you get home. Do it right there in your shopping cart. All those different colors. Look at the colors of the parsnips. and look at the colors of the bok choy and mix with maybe some other colors of boysenberries, or you might have blueberries or raspberries, apples, all of those different colors.
Mhm.
And you'll find that, the variety is really, really awesome. It's awesome. And you also get a variety of nutrients, keeping your, look at Kara's face. I mean, look at that skin. It's clear. It's you see the richness in her skin and the youth in her skin, and that is what you want. You want the best out of what your body can represent and how you can present it, how you can take care of it. And you're doing an excellent job, Kara.
Thank you.
So next thing is eat a variety of different fruit, and I just went over that. And you can go to Project Sunny and get more information on that. But these are some of the things. Again, we're talking about what you can change to make the year 2025 a healthier year.
Mhm.
And we are into it now. So let's just look at it. Why fruit? Because fruit. One of the most popular fruits is apples, and it's also one of the most sprayed fruits too. So you have to make sure that you're getting the organic apples. You want one that that you don't have to be taking in so much of the pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides. Now, the apples are rich in insoluble fiber, such as pectin, like apple pectin, which is applesauce, for instance. And then you have the hemicellulose and the cellulose. Hemicellulose and cellulose are found in the peel of the apple, and the stem, and even that part where it holds the seeds inside. Even if you were to swallow those, no problem, because that's a part of the cellulose, which is the part that isn't digestible on an apple. So keep that in mind. In addition, there's a good source of vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the world's greatest antioxidants, and is also one that is most accessible. So there being a good source of vitamin C and plant polyphenols. Now, when you hear plant polyphenols, remember, don't be afraid of the word. It's just polyphenols, poly meaning many, and phenols meaning nutrients. So you have many nutrients. It is a polyphenol. It has many nutrients. So when you hear that, now you know plant polyphenols. That's a plant that means that you can think about those two things, vitamin C, and you can also think about the polyphenols, many nutrients, and this, which are disease-fighting compounds found in plants. And in fact, consuming apples regularly may lower your risk of heart disease and stroke and cancer, being overweight, and obesity and neurological disorders. Now, this is important too. You have to keep eating fruit like this that's healthy. And I know that some people are looking to Ozempic and these other different types of pills and other medications that will be coming on the market. There'll be actually other medications that are going to compare itself with Ozempic, and they're going to give you a choice. And Ozempic may be going over the counter. It may become an OTC if they pass legislation on that, and then we have to see how that affects people. But usually what happens is when people get a little of something and it works, they feel like if they get more of that, it's going to work even more. So it's very easy for them to get out of balance with the eating or ingesting too much, even of a drug that may be working good for yourself. We're going to stop right now and pause for a little reset. Kara, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Zarif. And thank you to everyone that's joined us here in the Mind of Nature. In the Mind of Nature. Look at me, I'm rushing for some reason. I don't know. But today we are talking about things to consider for a healthier 2025. Now, the question to everyone in the chat is, what do you plan to do to have a healthier 2025? Please go ahead and drop it in the comments so we can see, and then we can also help to hold each other accountable to those things that we say that we're going to do. And this is that place that we would go ahead and do that. You know, if you're saying you're going to do this, I'm going to say, hey, I remember you saying you're going to do this. Are you still keeping up with it? So it's just a way to help each other and to stay accountable for the new year coming up. So please go ahead and make sure to share the live, give the thumbs up, give the hearts, just so we can have others be a part of this. You know, it's going to be a new year. It's coming up really, really soon. And we want to be able to grab other people and have them come along this journey with us with a healthier 2025. So please go ahead and share it. We are streaming live on Facebook. We're on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. If you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Dr. Farid Zarif. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me back on stage so we can continue with the conversation.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Kara. I want to also shout out to some of the wonderful people we have. Eclipse Soleil is in the house. It's great to see you here. And James Norman Jr. is in the house. My brother, James, says that he continues to monitor his numbers. That's excellent, because remember, that's what we are talking about, those healthy numbers. So James, thanks so much for reminding of that. Wow. I mean, we really are getting things through. Everything is looking better. I am so very happy that we are now, our numbers are looking better. We're making better choices on the food. We're making better choices on the portions of food. And through your feedback, this is letting me know that it is working. So it's really, really important. And I'm so glad that you understand why we should take these things little by little, commit them to memory, and start working on those things. We have Denise Kane. Denise Kane, welcome this morning. Thank you for being here. I plan to get more rest and travel on more self-care and not feeling guilty for doing so. That's right. Don't apologize for taking care of yourself.
Right.
That is so important. Yeah. So thank you so much, Denise Kane. I'm really very, very happy to hear that. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to bring up, let me see here. Again, I want to go ahead. I'll stay on this. So we talked about apples. So remember apples, you got what? Vitamin C. And you also have what? Polyphenols, plant polyphenols. Really important. Okay. So let's go on to blueberries. Now I'm doing this so that you will get some ideas. Some of you might write it down or type it down or record it so that you'll remember these are things that you should have in your cart. Now, of course, I'm not going to name all of them because there's over 2,000 varieties of fruit. And so you have a lot to choose from. I'm saying that specifically because there's so many people say, I cannot eat just plants. There's not enough stuff. You know, they'll say that there aren't enough choices. So let's stop that nonsense because that is so far from the truth. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, you know, I was going to say, I think sometimes when we say, I think when people say eat plants, some people take it literally and it's like plants. When you think of plants, you're thinking of, I don't know, no, literally plants. And it's not just plants, it's fruit, it's berries, you know, it's strawberries, cauliflower, broccoli, that's when we say plants, that's what we mean when we say plants. And I think sometimes that throws people off, and they're saying, oh, I don't want to eat plants, because it's just that's just what it is. So I think and it's a good time to say Dr. Zarif is actually working on something to where he can help to guide us through making those healthier choices. So that's going to be coming pretty soon. So that was just what I wanted to interrupt and say. Whenever we say plants, just people have to understand that it's more to it than just plants. There's more to it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And we continue to really, the more people do this, and the more that we hear some of these things like, plants, and people are turned off by it. We want to paint a different picture in your mind about plants. When you think about plants, it should be, you're going to hear things like phytosterols, or you'll hear things like, just like we just heard, plant polyphenols. Now, these are words that, and people, nutraceuticals and all these. Look, don't get caught up in that. Find out a basic way for you to understand that eating fruit and vegetables is going to decrease your risk of infection, disease, and illness. That's the most important thing. Not just I'm eating this and I'm becoming a vegetarian or a vegan or what have you. Those are some definitely wonderful things that you can attain. However, understanding why is so important and so intelligent. We go on. We didn't really even hit blueberries. So I want to go. Blueberries are just like most fruit. They have a quality, or they have benefit of being an antioxidant. Keep in mind, the antioxidant is those nutrients that actually protect yourself against aging. So when you hear antioxidant, blueberry equals anti-aging. Okay, this is awesome. I feel so wonderful. I'm in my 60s, and like, it's like I never even thought that. I had no idea I would even feel as great as I feel now. As a matter of fact, we're going to I just want to give you a little report here that I'll be teaching at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church starting in this new year. I don't have my information out here with me, but you can check it out. For those of you can call Mount Tabor and find out more information about it. And then next week I'll give you more information. But I just received a letter that we're going to have a class is going to be include nutrition, and then we're going to work out to some good music. We're going to get our bodies together. So remember, Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church, and get your groove on. Okay, so we when we're talking about the blueberries again, remember they're also anti-inflammatory. So you know what? I got to say this too, Kara. This one of the things that we need to, or we should also change, is being more patient. Like, some people can't be still long enough to learn anything else new. Yes. And that's because they'll listen to things like, if you're talking about whatever, did Diddy do it? I wonder, did you hear about Jay-Z? Did you hear? These people are super rich, super wealthy people. They'll have more than money than you have, even if they're in jail. But what do we do as a people? I wonder what happened. I'm worried. He ain't worried about you. That's for damn sure. But what happens is that we continue to live those same habits over and over, and we get the same results. And look, if you get caught up with somebody that isn't moving, you should be the one moving. If you get caught up with someone that isn't moving, just like Big Mama said, it's like, if you got to move, okay? If you're not moving, if you don't move it, you lose it. And it's really, really important that you take this on as serious. I'm just telling you, because I have a wonderful, wonderful record of health. And I've been healthy all of my life. There's some things that might happen out of your hands. Okay, that's the human experience. But make choices that you can enjoy your life to the utmost. And that's what I love about Nurse Cheryl Lee. She is one of those sisters that travels and that takes her family with her and invite everybody out to do different things. And I mean, it's just really, really beautiful just to even know someone like that. And that's just absolutely wonderful. And then another shout out to Mr. Allison Gentle, because that support that he gives us is what really keeps us going.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it, because that's what makes it work. So that's them blueberries. But I want to tell you something else about blueberries. Blueberries have other benefits. They're high in anthocyanins, and the anthocyanins are nutrients that actually they fight against type 2 diabetes, heart disease, being overweight, obesity, high blood pressure, and also certain types of cancer and cognitive decline. Now, blueberries and cognitive decline, if that's what you can take away from this, please do. If you eat, when you're eating more blueberries, as a matter of fact, look, this is what I'm eating now. And I have some grapes in there too, but I live, and I think I can talk for Kara too on this one. We live what we teach, so
Yes.
It's not just saying it, it's really about doing it.
Yes.
And it's really, really, that's super. A study that included over 200,000 participants observed a 5% decrease in the risk of type 2 diabetes for every 17 grams of anthocyanin-rich berries they consumed on a daily basis. Every time they did. So you see, not only blueberries, by the way, everybody, but raspberries. If you have blackberries, cherries, black cherries, bean cherries, all of these you can sip a little red tart cherry juice, and you have to sip because it's so good. You're gonna want to drink the whole bottle. It's like, give me some ice. So
Right. That's
yeah.
like the beets juice that we used to get from Trader Joe's. They don't carry it anymore, but that it was a beet juice with lemon in it. Oh, it was so good. But
Yeah.
even juicing beets itself is really good too. That is really a really good drink.
Right. And there's a lot of people that want to eat just raw milk, and they'll have raw dairy products. But there's been many callbacks this year on raw dairy products, like even the raw ice cream, the raw milk. So please pay attention to that. We're going to move on to bananas now. Now, the first thing when you hear bananas, people say what? Oh man, potassium. And I talked to about dozens of people and asking, what does potassium do? And some of them had a good idea, but many people don't. And I'm just saying, take time to find out, okay, how does potassium work? What is it? And when you repeat it and you're sharing it with other people, you're sharing it because it's educating them versus just your opinion. Okay, so here we go. This is our bananas also contain vitamin B6. Now, vitamin B6 is super important because it plays a huge part in our digestive system and its process. Okay, vitamin C. Vitamin C is very important because it plays a very important part of keeping us looking young, keeping the skin tight, keeping the glow, of keeping your skin smooth and supple, your radiant hair, all of those, your fingernails, your all of those things are very important. The balance of oil on the top of your skin. And then we have magnesium. Magnesium is important because it allows you or helps you to rest, right? When we talk about the parasympathetic nervous system being calm, well, that's what magnesium does. Now, I want you to study so that you will be able to talk to me and feedback what I'm talking about. You don't have to say, the blue thing, the thing. You can actually take time so that you'll know exactly what you're talking about. And let's add that to the list for 2025. Yes. Okay, we're going to go over with there's oranges and there's a dragon fruit. Sometimes you look at this dragon fruit or the foods that are not indigenous of America or different places in America, and then we come across a fruit that's some tropical fruit, and we don't know. But again, take your time. Let me see. I want you to really get into this because this is the dragon fruit, which is the first time I saw a dragon fruit, I said, there is a God. I'm telling you, really, when you look at this fruit, it is the most perfect, incredible, beautiful, tasty, and the aroma is also just very fresh. A dragon fruit is really, really, really incredible. Yes. Pitaya this is also called pitaya. And this pitaya and the Bihaya, it's the pitahaya. Yeah, pitahaya. And you will hear this on the different, islands. And when you travel is a must. Travel is a must. I'm getting my travel thing together too. So, I'm talking to us.
Yes.
So we're really reckoning on rich. This dragon fruit is rich in nutrients and including your fiber, your iron. Now, this is important for females that are still having periods or still having menses. Which means it is the time that your female parts or your reproductive system is doing what it's there to do, and that is to keep you again, that's all a part of balance. Women are extraordinary. We know this. It's also excellent source of magnesium. We talked about that, and vitamin C again. But there's one vitamin that people don't hardly talk about anymore, and it's vitamin E. Now, vitamin E you'll usually find in the different types of juices, or it might even be in certain fruit and vegetables that is touted to be great for your sex drive. Now, we're grown people. If that just offended you, you don't need to be on here anyway. It's really, when it comes to taking care of your sex life is just as big as any other important function in your body. So take care of that. Now, some people, again, are extreme. I'm not going to even go into that. But for now, know that the vitamin C is an antioxidant, and vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, is good for heart health, is good for skin health, is good for sex drive, and is good for slowing down the aging process. Let's move on to the next one. Carrie, you want to read this one?
With fruit, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Okay.
Let's go ahead and pass that. I want to go to vegetables now because we just finished the fruits. Go right ahead.
Okay, so vegetables. Why all vegetables are nutritious? Some are more nutritious than others. If you're looking to spice up your diet with nutrient dense veggies, try adding spinach, broccoli, garlic, beets, or others to the menu. We mentioned beets earlier and broccoli, so we're on the right track.
Good. So let's go ahead and knock out spinach then. Spinach is a nutrient dense, and it's different types of spinach. I come from Detroit, and when we went to get spinach, it's a darker leaf and it's a bigger leaf. Here is all baby spinach, mostly just little leaves, and it's not as big. So there's different types, just like there's red potatoes, there's Burbank potatoes, there's sweet potatoes. There's those different types. The same thing with spinach. Okay, so if you haven't seen other types of spinach, search it, and there you'll have it. So that's very important. But some of the things that you get, back to vitamin A, plus is plus 120% of the daily value of for vitamin K, and for just 7 calories. So a very small amount, 7 calories. Are you hearing me on this one? 7 calories. Just by that, eating 7 calories of spinach, you can derive or extract from that as you masticate and ingest spinach. It gives you a lot of oxidants, and it also is known to fight against certain types of cancer. And this is very important because so many people, that number is going up when it comes to people that are dying from colorectal cancer. I don't know if you even know what that is, but colorectal cancer is the very bottom of your large intestine, and or also known as the colon. So your descending colon. If you don't take care of yourself, what happens? You can get disease in your colon. Unfortunately, there are very limited operations that can be done if you were to lose your colon. Take care of your colon. And like people that's running around, you want to pop from party to party, or you just, all the other nonsense out there, and you neglecting yourself, that's something that you're probably going to regret. You got to understand that you are responsible for you, not Trump, and not all this, Republicans, and not Democrats, or all of that stuff. You got to get away from that kind of thinking. Get back on you and how important you are. Okay, Kara, I want you to go down to broccoli and read that one.
All right, with broccoli, let's see, just 1 cup. I'm sorry, there's so many different percentages.
Oh yeah, that's just how all of this is where it says trusted source. So like if for instance a person says that, oh man, you're making that up. So you can just click on your hyperlink, and then the source will come up. But we're not doing that here. But I'll just go through it since I already, I know it's kind of tricky here. So just 1 cup provides 77% of the daily value of vitamin K, 90% of the daily value of vitamin C, and a good amount of folate. Folate is also a B vitamin. It's a vitamin B9, for instance, and manganese, not magnesium, but manganese along with potassium. These are some of the things that our bodies need. So if you really want your lady parts to be healthy, well, this is very important to get broccoli and baby broccoli, Szechuan broccoli, Okinawan broccoli. These are very, very important for our consumption. And if you want your man parts to work the way that they're created to work, you want to definitely eat this particular vegetable, along with, I'm going to go back on carrots, because usually the stuff that we learned when we were children, like Bugs Bunny eating a carrot and those kind of stories, we got to graduate from that. Carrots are packed with vitamin A, delivering 119% of the daily value in just 1 cup It also contains nutrients like vitamin C and potassium. So you see, potassium is also, we sweat that out through a process called nicturition. And when we sweat all of this out, we should replenish it, right? We should get it back into the body. So make sure that you're exercising, make sure you're getting rest, but you got to make sure that you're eating the right foods, okay? And that you probably heard all your life, but I want you to do something about it. Okay, we only got a few seconds here. I want to get back to Care so we can read any questions. We were moving fast last week and we looked over a few. So go get them, Care.
Well, from over on Instagram, Shirley Love 2 has moved over to Facebook, but I'm still going to go ahead and read this comment. It says, so the question is, what do you plan to do to have a healthier 2025? And Shirley Love 2 says, continue to be intentional about a healthier lifestyle, following a plan to exercise, knowing what I am putting into my body, and resting well. And I love the part where she says, knowing what I'm putting into my body, because just like what we're doing now is teaching you and letting you know how these things affect the body. That's a huge part of it. So that's really great. Thank you so much for your comment. Shirley Love 2. Eclipse Soleil says, good morning, Dr. Z. Thank you for the great advice. Just priceless, in caps, Claudie. So thank you. Thank you so much. That's over on Instagram.
Right.
Let's see here. And let's see. Yolanda, ever since I've known you, it's always been about healthy living with you. A1 Day One, back in the day, or excuse me, back in the late 70s. We go way back, Dr. Zarif. We're proud of you. Yes, absolutely. Proud of you too, Dr. Zarif. Great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. That's, Yolanda is one of the most loving women that I know on the planet. She's a sweetheart, and she's been like that all her life.
Mm-hmm.
Just is really incredible. I just love that woman.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, now I was going to put my Leah Jones. I love you guys. I plan to stay consistent like I have been. Yes.
All right, my Leah. Good. Yeah. And my Leah, I had, I read something earlier this week that you wrote, and, our, great energy and love and everything, that energy of sending it out to you, because I know sometimes you're dealing with a lot of stuff. I was reading about the immune, you were speaking about autoimmune diseases, and we're right here with you, and that's what we're here to do, and talk about the things that will be very helpful. And really proud of you too, because you're doing some things that we can have a whole show on. As a matter of fact, start like when we go into the new year, Marlia, I want you to start coming up here and sharing some of the things that are important. Marlia is also vegan, and I think you're still vegan. You could have changed, but I think you're still vegan and taking care of business, and I'm very glad to see you. So let's go ahead and move on to I'm on Brussels sprouts now. The Brussels sprouts are super important. Kale and green peas. You have Swiss chard and beets. You have asparagus and red cabbage. All of those sound very good. And make sure that you stick to the plan, everybody. Stick to the plan. Start it and stick to it. Be consistent. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going and work. Keep working. You know how you know that you're doing the right thing? Because you're going to feel the right way. You're going to feel healthier. You got more energy in you. You're going to look better. Your skin is going to be it's going to be tighter, not drooping. And that's through exercise. I was talking about that. I worked out early this morning with Denise Kane. We tore it up, boy. We were really in there pushing and working, stretching, and all of those things. Get your environment together. That's the last thing I want to tell you here. You got to be in an environment where you're loved and where you're respected. And where you're not loved and respected, you got to make a decision to get the heck away from that kind of thing. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here today. We're right on time as we go ahead and invite you next week, same place, same time. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.
And I am Carolyn Janto. Thank you all so much for joining us.